Americans love ube. Oh, no, not that. They don't even know what that is. Americans want that trendy, purple, sugary stuff, ube, which was named the flavor of 2024. But despite its entry into American retailers and its global rise in popularity, agricultural production of ube in the Philippines, where it's actually from, is decreasing by more than 50%. America is a culture vulture. They can steal the cultural products of a people and sell it back to them without any care of its origins. So do Americans really love ube? Or have they simply not tried real ube from Filipinos? Will the world see less ube from the Philippines? And does it really matter for us to see our culture in mainstream America if it doesn't actually celebrate us at its core? I'm Leo Albea, and this is One Down, where we redefine Filipino.
No mention of the Philippines.
So how is ube experienced in America? The reality is that most ube products available in the US are far removed from genuine Filipino ingredients. And that's mostly because you can't source freshly harvested ube in North America. So the next best thing we have is frozen ube sourced from ethnic groceries, which a lot of Filipino-owned businesses do often source and use. But the easier alternative is to use artificial flavoring and coloring from companies like McCormick that imitate ube flavor but mislead Americans to believe that this is real ube.
The filling's not good.
Has a hint of a butter popcorn, but it's sweet.
This is where it gets awkward. Those moments when we see ube marketed by Starbucks or Jack in the Box, or even chance upon an ube product at a Trader Joe's like ube ice cream or pancake mix. Now, we don't live in a perfect world, and America doesn't have direct and unlimited access to ube. Artificial or natural flavoring is a common practice in the food industry, related to availability of ingredients, shelf life, and cost. And as a business owner, it makes sense that this has to be a choice that one will ultimately make. But if you choose to use ube and market it to a demographic of both Filipinos and non-Filipinos, there should be an accountability to learn and share a part of that history. And don't give us the excuse that that's not possible, because you wouldn't have chosen ube if you didn't think it would sell. And in America, Asian Americans have the highest median household income across race and ethnicity, with Filipinos ranking top 3. But beyond that money, it's important to understand what ube means to us Filipinos. While global interest in ube is soaring, our local farmers aren't reaping the benefits of this increased demand. And just like in America, we're actually seeing that a lot of ube in the market is not actual ube, even in the Philippines. Historically, the Philippines was a major player in rice production, with other countries coming to study our techniques. Yet over time, countries like Thailand have overtaken us in rice exports. A similar scenario is unfolding with calamansi, where Vietnam is now cultivating this Filipino citrus and may soon outpace us in exports. The situation with ube is equally concerning. In some regions of the Philippines, ube production has decreased by up to 50%. This decline is happening precisely when international demand for ube-flavored products is at an all-time high. Consider the Aida communities, indigenous peoples who have been cultivating ube for generations. Ube farming is not just their livelihood, it's a crucial part of their cultural practices. Yet, these communities see little to no economic benefit from the trend. Well, let's take a look at the history of America taking from communities of color. Hip-hop serves as a prime example. Originating in the Bronx, it was created and nurtured by Black and Latino communities as an expression of their experiences and struggles. However, as it gained popularity, hip-hop culture was commodified for mass consumption and stripped of its original context and meaning. America has also done this to Asian ingredients, most famously known by matcha. Matcha represents centuries of Japanese tradition. Originally reserved for the noble class in Japan, matcha was a delicacy steeped in ritual and meaning. However, as it gained popularity in the West, we've seen major coffee chains and food companies profiting immensely from the trend. All the while, the deep cultural roots and traditional preparation methods were often ignored. While we want ube to make it big in America, it's already at risk, with many Americans expecting that anything purple hue they're consuming for the first time is the real representation of ube. Maybe America has only really caught on to ube in the past decade, but it's been thousands of years that this has been ours, and it will continue to fall on us to educate the world on the communities that this comes from and why it matters. We have an opportunity and a responsibility to ensure its Filipino roots remain front and center. One of the companies innovating within the Filipino flavor space is Dear Flor, a Filipino-owned brand dedicated to amplifying the rich history of Filipino ingredients, like ube, while creatively introducing them to new audiences. Personally, I use the ube boba gummies to help me sleep since I recently got back from the Philippines and am adjusting to jet lag. But more importantly, the gummy helped me sleep and wake up without feeling groggy the next morning. To learn more about Dear Flor, visit the website here, and a huge thanks to them for partnering with One Down to dive deeper onto the history of ube. The rising interest in ube should be a win-win situation. Our farmers who have cultivated this crop for generations deserve to benefit from its newly found popularity. Filipino communities, both in the Philippines and abroad, should see their cultural heritage celebrated authentically. Corporations capitalizing on the ube trend have a unique chance to collaborate with Filipino communities. By working together, we can help grow its production and educate consumers about ube's rich history. It's a symbol of togetherness, commonly served during birthdays and fiestas, as it has always embodied nostalgia for the Filipino culture. Ube is not supposed to be the end of the conversation when it comes to Filipino culture. It's the gateway to so much more of our cuisine. It's not enough to just be known as Filipino. It's an open invitation to everything we as a people want to share and give to the world, one flavor at a time. Thanks for watching. We are One Down, an independent Filipino media company. We work to make content like this accessible to everyone, and it's thanks to our community partners like Dear Flor that we can cover topics like this on the significance of ube. So if you want to learn more about Dear Flor and how they're sharing Filipino culture with the world one flavor at a time, visit their website here and consider checking out their line of Filipino gummies featuring ube, mango, calamansi, and buko pandan. As always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video.